Hello, this is Kendra Von Esch's Shalom World, bringing you the news from around the globe. In two separate incidents, a church in Phoenix in the U.S. was destroyed by fire and another in Glasgow, Scotland was vandalized. The first incident occurred at the St. Joseph Catholic Church in North Phoenix in the wee hours of Wednesday, when the fire broke out from inside the church, ravaging it completely. The cause of the fire is yet to be determined, and no injuries were reported. In a second act of church vandalism in Glasgow, Scotland, the assailants damaged the statues, paintings, and the altar of St. Simon's Church at Patrick Bridge Street. Following the incident, the Archdiocese of Glasgow tweeted, "A shameful attack on a much-loved church. Let's find those responsible and send out the message loud and clear that this kind of action is unacceptable." Local police started investigating the incident and does not identify this to be a hate crime from the initial findings. In spite of the ongoing threats following the Easter bombings in Sri Lanka, a priestly ordination mass was held as was planned amidst tight security. Newly ordained priest Father Norton Johnson said people wanted to celebrate Mass. They wanted to participate in this, but they, even myself, were afraid. Though Cardinal Malcolm Ranjith, Archdiocese of Colombo, declared that Masses will resume starting on Sunday, May 5th, churches in the rural areas of the country had already began to celebrate Masses, regardless of the threats. Meanwhile, a Dominican priest has voiced his concerns regarding a California law which would force priests to break the seal of confession if passed. Father Pius Pichik, assistant professor of canon law at St. Patrick's Seminary in Menlo Park, California, warned the bill would force priests to disclose the matter of confession and to report suspected child abuse cases. Though the present law exempts penitential rites such as confession, the judicial reform would force to choose between religious doctrine or state law. Chilean bishops said they support the newly passed legislation demanding priests to report crimes, but expressed their fear if it would compel them to break the seal of confession. Bishop Luis Fernando Ramos, Secretary General of the Chilean Bishops' Conference, said though the church is in support of the law that ensures justice to abuse victims, it is greatly concerned about the sacrament of reconciliation. The report published by the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom found China to be the most hostile country against religion. The repressions by the communist regime in China extended to the Uyghur Muslims, Christians, Tibetan Buddhists, and those practicing other traditional Chinese religions. USC IRF Commissioner Gary Bauer said, "I don't think it's an exaggeration to suggest that the Chinese government has essentially declared war on religious faith." According to the published document, the persecution of underground Catholics increased in 2018, with authorities shutting down hundreds of churches and even banning online sales of the Bible. Let us keep all those who suffer persecutions for their faith and the universal church in our constant prayers. During his weekly Wednesday general audience, which coincided with the feast of St. Joseph, the patron saint of workers, Pope Francis said special prayers for all the unemployed.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, buongiorno. Proseguiamo nella catechesi sul Padre Nostro.
Observing the International Labor Day, the Holy Father called the low employment rates worldwide as a global tragedy. He encouraged to seek the intercession of St. Joseph, the humble worker, for those who have lost their jobs or unable to find work. Thanks for watching and for your support. Stay in touch on social media, our app, and online at shalomworld.org. May you walk in the light of the Lord, and may peace be with you always.